Welcome to the Living Elan podcast, where we help you reclaim your confidence and energy through taking control of your wellness. I'm Paige Hope.
And I'm Tracy Vallejos. Join us for quick chats on wellness, personal growth, hormone regulation, and more. And welcome to another episode of Living Elan. And I am here in person with the incredible Paige Hope. Paige, it is so good to be here live in studio with you.
I am screaming inside. I just need everybody to know. Also, Tracy and I spent the last, how many days together?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. 4 days?
4 days. The last 4 days working 18-hour days, everybody.
Yes.
So we're just happy to be having fun today in the studio.
In the studio. And we're working here in the heat. We're here in Arizona. And as I understand it, about a week ago, we had like the hottest day in 120 years. I hope I got that correct. But as I like to say, so yes, Paige brought the heat. But you know, she always brings the heat in a really good way. But sometimes the heat can make you tired, though, as well. And it can burn you out. Okay, I'm going to say that. Sometimes the heat can be a little exhausting. But
that is a metaphor, everybody.
I know. Can you tell that is a metaphor?
That is a preface to today's conversation.
Yes. Paige, honestly, you want to kick us off for today's conversation because I think we want this just to be a real raw conversation. But I really want you to kick this one off.
Yes. And you know what, Tracy? I just have to start this off by saying, one, thank you for being our incredible host. Okay. She shakes her head.
Gosh.
Two, we were trying to figure out what is our series for this rebirth. And we're calling it a rebirth because we have just gone through a little low season.
Yeah.
And we call this, we lost our little sparkle a little bit.
Yeah.
And we got to thinking, what if our audience is in the same boat? There are seasons to everything.
Everything.
And so we thought, why don't we kick off this 4-part series? Each one is going to lead to the other and start with being real, raw, tell you what's going on in our lives, tell you what's going on with the business so that one, you know that you're not alone.
Yes.
But two, you also know what's going on in Elan Pure. And that way you guys feel connected to us and actually see, you know, people are calling it building in public, right?
Yes.
Seeing, you know, the ups and the downs, because on social media and, you know, where our brand is at, we actually look like, you know, we're on the high, which we are.
Yes.
We are, but that doesn't mean that seasonality of a business doesn't affect it. And we, of course, being self-tanning, we're going to have our spike in the fall and winter. So seasonality can be your business. It can be your life.
Oh my goodness.
Seasons to everything. We're going to get into it. So Tracy.
Yeah.
Why don't you start kind of going into the personal stuff as well?
And you know, when you just talked about it, like there are seasons to everything. And if you don't learn that and understanding that you are doing life, and the way I like to tee this up, like for example, I'm going to switch gears a little bit to like, you know, people are calling in their life partner, whatever that looks like, right? And they write down these 50 things that are so perfect. And my partner has this or that and perfection. I'm like, what I encourage people to do is you need to be able to do life together. This is what I'm saying. Life has seasons.
Life has seasons.
Life is messy.
Life is messy.
And life is ups and downs.
And it's beautiful.
But that's the thing because every single person on this earth has just what I described. But when you, and if you could see what I'm doing with my hands, is that parallel, you flow with life, the ups and downs, the seasons. We all want this straight line on a map, but guess what? There's detours, there's potholes, there's different things, but it's navigating that. So I loved when Paige said, yes, social media makes it look like this perfection, but let's keep this raw and real.
Yeah.
And understanding business, your body, your life, and all kinds of things. Yeah. Right? It's messy.
And we just want to, we want to be real. We want you guys to know what it's like on this side and get to know us a little bit. So if we have any new listeners, we'll just do some quick intros, Tracy. So I'm Paige Hope, the founder and CEO of Elan Pure, and Tracy, this wonderful host of ours of the Living Elan podcast. Tracy Vallejos, our president of wellness education and community.
Oh,
and
my
might I add,
goodness.
a holistic practitioner. So I get to interview her once a month over wellness tips, which that is coming this month as well. But what's going on in the business? So we're going to talk you guys through, one, what it's like to run a bootstrapped brand through the summertime when it is our low month. And keeping it really vulnerable with you guys. You know, when you decide to carve out this path, chase your dreams, if you will, put your money into something, I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard seeing the numbers drop. Yep. It's hard because at the end of the day, I'm in charge of putting food on people's tables. And like, I think the biggest thing here is there's a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, and I always encourage that because it's a beautiful thing to create good products and good impact and whatever that is. But I also think it's important to share, you are really in charge of that end result of making sure that your team gets paid. And the realities of actually what it is on the back end of running a business. You've got the added stress. You've got the, to-do list that really doesn't end, I miss those days where I had a notepad and I, check it off and I'm like, nice, I'm done for the day. That's tomorrow. Yeah. And, it doesn't stop. And because we're in a low season, I've had to check myself. And that is why, again, we're turning this into a 4-part series because after we go through the vulnerability of today and what we're talking about, of course, we live living Elan. It's our motto. We live with more energy and confidence. We're doing whatever we can to, be the best version of ourselves. So when we go through a slump, and Tracy has really got me to say this phrase, when we lose our sparkle, what do we do to get out of it? So I'm teeing this up for next week's episode. As we get into this, I do want you to know we're not going to give all the tips and tricks today. We really just want to have a raw, real conversation. But in case you end up tuning out and you're like, I don't care about what you guys have to say, which, that's okay too. Just know that next week we have an amazing podcast launching. So that would be my number one thing. We're going to go back and forth of what's been hard in the business right now? What's been hard in life? And really that's where mine is at, is I'm trying to figure out revenue channels so that I can keep putting food on my team's tables, right? And that is the raw truth. We're not even 2 years in. So if you know anything about building a brand, especially bootstrapped, if you have a low season, where many people can tan, many people aren't buying self-tanner unless, I never stop. It's not seasonal for me. Let's be real.
I haven't stopped in 25 years. So keep going.
You know what, Philly pasty girlies, that there's not a thing. Yeah. So that's kind of what my head has been going through lately. Tracy, I want to open up to you. We're getting raw, we're getting real. I know you specifically, which you're talking about next week of, this awesome challenge you have for yourself. Yeah. But what's kind of been, dimming your sparkle a little bit?
I think just exactly what you said is, I'm going to piggyback off what I was just saying. We all write down this perfection on a piece of paper. And because we're going to kind of focus really on business here, right? We're going to write it down. We're going to have month over month sales doing this. We're going to do that. It's the perfect, I'm going to call it 2-3 year roadmap, right? To quote unquote success, however we define that. And when it goes off of that, it meaning we hit a detour, we hit a pothole, and that's not happening. Sometimes, like driving a car, so imagine a map, you can start spinning out of control, right? You've hit some black ice. Let's call it that way, right? Those things, and that wasn't on the plan anywhere. Mm-hmm. So you can get spinning into a spiral and not know how to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And that's real. Our mind spins, the sleepless nights, the waking up. Let's get real, right? And then you're waking up and you're exhausted, and then it can just go day after day. But during those times, recognizing, okay, what can I do to slow down for a moment, to lean into those times going, what can I do that I may not have ever time in the business to do? And I will say, Paige, you're so good at this, and going, okay, what does even our messaging look like? Because sometimes if you are then going so fast, you don't get to slow down. I call it slow down to speed up. Ooh, and that's a hard one. It's what do you mean we need to slow down to speed up? And I'm like, well, if it forces you to slow down because that's part of life and business, I want you to think about it. Why am I being slowed down to speed up? What is it that I need to work on? And we've really like nailed in, what does that social look like? Like really, what does that messaging look like? The pain point, like who's our customer? And this is making us slow down so we can speed up.
Well, I don't feel like I'm slowing down, but here's what I'm going to say, Tracy.
Well, I'm going to say not.
This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say this. To your point, taking the time, this is what we said. We said, all right, we know that by September, like we need to be ready. We need to be ready to attract that right audience. So that's what Tracy's saying. We went back to say, what are the core foundations? And Tracy knows I've been in every single part of the business, and I'm bringing Tracy into every part of the business too, because I'm like, you can never have too many eyes on this. We're basically pivoting our focus to be ready for September. So seasonality wise, if you're in a season, whether it's personal, you're in, or it's a business, or it's just your job, like you feel like your sparkle is gone. What is a pivot or focus that you can say, I can go focus on that? And here is, it's almost like I'm dangling a carrot for myself. I'm like, I just got to get through. We got to get through this. And why don't we take advantage of this so that we are beyond ready for September, which is,
that's it.
We have so much exciting things coming. And that really is like, that brings, your spirit up too when you have excitement. If you stay in the wallowing, it's really, really difficult to have the inspirations. It's really, really difficult to take the action.
It is keeping momentum. Because I want to be clear about that. When I say slow down, it's not doing nothing. Oh, no.
I was going to say, Tracy, that's not the language.
Yeah.
We ain't slowing down. I'm like,
it's definitely not slow down to speed up. It is sometimes it's made us refocus. Yes. Because if I've been in hypergrowth before, which also can be very hindering to a business. I've seen hypergrowth come and people think you're on a high, and all of a sudden you go slamming down. And I've seen several come like wipe out, and you're like, what? Because you didn't get to hyper focus on things that could have kept the momentum going. So I really want to be clear, like that's where like slow down to speed up is not, oh heck no, do nothing. Every day something. I think Paige said, like, in case you're sitting there going, oh no, your to-do list is never ever like ending.
I'm
but
laughing.
it's making you go, oh, I have this moment to look at this and dig deeper, because it is that thing in front of you. We're anchoring in.
We are. And again, if it's your personal life, there's something that is just, it's dimming your light a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that is, try to look outward and just visualize it. Dangle the carrot for yourself. What is that carrot, right? Like, you've got this. You're not going to be in this forever. I had a friend once who would always say, don't sit in it. Whatever it is, wherever you're at, if there's a challenge, hurdle, don't just sit in it. Look up. Literally stand up physically if you have to when you're in that wallowing. Don't sit in it. Stand up, and you'll be like, all right, fresh eyes. What can I now focus my energy and effort on? You have to make the best of it. You know you got to get through it. And, oh my gosh, what does he say? He says, this is Henry Amar, everyone. Please go listen to his podcast. He says, in order to go through it, you have to grow through it. And I'm like, it is so powerful, because these times, whether it is business, whether it is personal, you have to grow. How boring, can I just say, Tracy, how boring would life be if honestly it was a straight line? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know. I love, like we think in our head when we write it down, and it's this connected, it's the perfect straight line, but that's not where all the growth came and the gratitude and the people and all of it. So no, I mean, we all think that, but life really would be
boring. So tell yourself that too, right? Like, I'm almost like, when you're in a challenge, it's like, okay, I get to grow through this.
Oh boy, do we.
We get to grow through it and see. There was a quote that we came up with, Tracy. What was it a while back with the living Elan? It's like the living Elan way. I need to get back to that. Oh my gosh. And it's like, that can be your motto too, because we really do live it.
Yes. Well, and what you just said something is what to think about this quote. So, hey, tune in for next time, because maybe we'll think of the quote either now or next time. I'm just going to say that. But we were talking about anchoring in. We can then lose sight of the mission.
Yes.
Why you started it, the culture.
Yes.
Because you're so worried about other things that you lose sight of that. And Paige, I just want to say you're really good to going back and saying, here is why I did what I did. Here's where I went all in on myself. I put it all on the line because this was the mission. And through these times, right? And it's not fun whenever you have the low times, but that is the rhythm of the business. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's fun, but you have to know that when you're going through it, that you just said, don't just wallow, keep going, but you anchor back into your mission and do it well and keep the team going. Oh yes. We're all like, yes.
Yes.
We really are. Like, you see us pointing, like we're like pointing our fingers forward because we're like, oh no, we're in this. Yes.
We're in this. And I just want to preface this by saying September and October, everyone. But my favorite month coming up is going to be November, and we can't tell you why yet, but just know that we're teeing this up. Oh. So with that being said, Tracy, okay. I feel like with this audience, they're going to be thinking, okay, everyone has some sort of challenge, hardship, whatever that is. What would you say is one tip?
Okay.
And it won't be what we're talking about next week, but what's one tip that they can do today?
All right.
If they've got something hard going on, they've been wallowing a little bit. I feel like you've always got really good advice for this stuff.
Oh, that's really good. Well, here's what I'm going to say. Is all of a sudden we start wallowing, our mind is racing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, in our head, all this negativity, right? Because I understand we're humans. Mm-hmm. It's just spinning. And now all of a sudden you're getting into these patterns of life that seem like that weren't like you. Like maybe all of a sudden, I had a friend once, I'll just say, she's like, Tracy, I haven't showered in 3 days. I went, oh girl, I said, right? Because she was going through a dip in life. Yes. Little things were starting to creep in, and we are going to talk about in a few episodes. So what I want to say is, what is that one thing that you can break? Like, oh my gosh, I've lose sight of that because my head's been spinning, I'm wallowing, and I need to break that now. Yeah. Am I scrolling too much on social media because I'm trying to numb my mind from really what's going on?
Yep.
Okay. So instead, can I then turn on, and this may sound silly, but this could come to me, a movie that's inspiring. Like I love documentaries of people who's overcomers. You know why? Yeah. And you and I talked about this because I see they've been there on the lows.
We're for the underdog.
Yes. But you watched what they did and their attitude, the people around them, and it makes me, I turn off that show, and that's what I want to sleep with too. Yeah. I want to say to you, be careful what you go to bed on. What you feed your mind, it gets seeped into every cell in your body. That's what you wake up on. I want to read something or I want to watch something positive. So that's what I'm going to say to you right now. Mm-hmm. What can you do tonight? What can you listen to or watch? Mm-hmm. What can you break tonight?
So
that's my thing.
That is such good advice, Tracy. Okay. I couldn't have said it better myself.
How about you?
I think I was literally like in my head, I was like, I actually want to take time to thank our affiliates, our creators, our customers, because people do not understand. I think, when you see big beauty brands like Rhode, who just sold to e.l.f. for $1 billion, like, when a new beauty brand comes up, I think so many people don't understand business, right? They don't understand. Some people go, the bootstrap route where they're self-funded and they're letting the revenue that come in actually fund the business and employees and vendors and that. Where other businesses, you might be celebrity backed. And so you have all these, investors that are backing you, or you might have gone the private equity route or the VC route. Like there's so many ways to launch a product and bring something to the masses. And we are the self-funded route, right? And so it's a little bit in the mud, in the trenches, super vision, mission driven, which is obviously so fun and we enjoy it. But we couldn't do it without you guys. And so if someone's listening and you are like, I am so inspired by this brand, I love it. Or there's another brand that is self-funded, it's a small business. Yes. Like the best thing you can do for these brands, and I know it because like I am now cognizant of it, go leave someone a Google review. Do you know how much that Google review does? Number 2, go reshare someone's post to your story. Go engage in the brand's post. That goes such a long way. We have so many awesome affiliates that are always hyping us up in our comments. They do not realize that literally, that small thing that took 2 seconds helps us get to the next level, helps us put food on people's tables, helps us actually be able to continue to develop products that are good for you, good for the environment, and give, team a place that they can work that they actually enjoy. That's like one of my favorite parts,
I know.
right?
Me too.
So thank you. And my challenge to you, and I challenge myself this as well, because you never understand the importance of it until you actually grow through it. I said grow through it. I meant go through it, but because I just said grow,
I know. I was
earlier,
like, I love that,
we're just going to keep going. I just encourage you, how can you support a small business today? And I'm not saying you have to go buy our products. I'm not saying that. I am saying, how can you go pass a good message forward? Can you share something with your mom? Can you forward a brand email to someone, right?
Yes.
Instead of always, when you like something, you just keep it to yourself, right? So now, just built out of habit, I buy from these non-toxic brands. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I subscribe to their emails. I'm going to go through their whole review process. I'm going to give them a 5-star because we have to fight for those,
Yes.
People leave reviews that are negative if they're going to leave one, right?
I
For
know.
small businesses.
Yep.
So you have to, just be that person that if you actually like it, go leave that review.
Yes.
I'm so passionate about that.
It is. And one, you feel good about it. Like, I love it. I've done it before. Like, even leaving a restaurant. I did this maybe 4 weeks ago. On the way home, I'm writing the review. Because I was like, I need to make sure. I know they're working hard in there. I know those servers are. And I know what it's like. We've all received, I'm going to take it back to, I don't know if anybody still handwrites cards, but we'd get that one card in the mail. Seeing a one review, seeing a comment is just like that card. And then you read it and you're so surprised. You can't believe somebody took the time. That's the impact of leaving a comment or review. I love that so much, and a good reminder. Set a goal for yourself. Maybe it's 2 a week, 3 a week, 1 a day. I don't care what it is. Pass that forward. Thank you for reminding me. I like to do it, but I want to be a little more cognizant myself.
That's
and
a
go
good
back.
challenge.
Okay.
Yep. We're all going to do that.
Yes. So if you're going to do that, will you go DM us, or you know what? Put it, in a post saying, I just listened to this podcast. I am going to go do this. I'll tell you, it'll be amazing what it does to your own spirit, but also to someone else's.
I love that.
I can't help. There's no more to be said than right there. So I'm just going to say, until next time, here's to your energetic, confident self.